full screen.
I
For
won't
now,
stay
so.
too long. I'll let you, get back to your show.
No, you're good. You're good.
All that stuff with all the craziness that's going on. And then, like, while it's all happening, we have our president, who should be president right now, in a courtroom on the stupidest things ever. Because you
Yeah,
know what's going to happen once he gets off on this one, they'll just figure out a way to put him back into another
that's
courthouse.
all they're gonna do. They're just
And
gonna
they're
try
going to
to.
try to prolong this because their thought process is if he can't get out towards the people, he'll lose, right? That's
And
what's going to happen.
and it's
But
gonna
they're
have a.
so dumb to know that the more that they do this, the popular he gets. It's just I'm sitting back like these people don't understand, man.
I know.
Like how dumb they are.
And
But that's
Christian
just who they
Rocker
are.
says, "Drunk Cobra Cast every Friday." Hey, Jay did a great job that Friday of hosting when I was driving. So
Except that's when the Brian Kennel was born. So
that's right. That's right, and that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I mean, if you think that it's going to stop with this one, it's not. But this might be the only trial that they can actually push forward to get it to go before the election. So that's why they're hanging everything on this one.
of course.
And it is so crazy to me, man. Like my mind cannot comprehend how we live in a country where a former president and the front runner for the next president of the United States, who's also a billionaire, who's also been one of the most famous human beings alive for the past 30 or 40 years. My mind cannot comprehend how he is in this situation when he's done nothing wrong. How is this possible? I don't get it. I don't understand how this is fucking happening. My mind cannot understand it. How do we live in a world, in a country where this is actually happening? And again, it just goes to show you it doesn't matter who you are. Like, people can sit here and think like, oh, Jeremy, you should do this. You have 100,000 subscribers, or Gary should call this out. He's got 1 million. We ain't shit. Donald Trump, right now at this point in time, and probably for the past 10 years, would you say that there's any human being on the planet that's more famous? No. He's the most famous human being on the planet. He's the most recognizable human being on the planet. For the previous 30 years, before those 10, he was one of the most recognizable human beings on the planet, and he was beloved by all the people that are going after him right now.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing. It's like they all wanted his money. They all wanted a picture with him. They all wanted his endorsement for their TV shows, for their music, whatever it was. They all wanted to stay in the Trump Tower. But as soon as he ran, they're like, he's the worst person in the world. Like, come on, man.
Yep. It's really strange, and it's scary. It's honestly scary. Yes, Michael Jackson's another classic example of someone that they just completely were hell-bent on destroying and throwing under the bus and everything. And they did everything they could to defame him and destroy him and take him down. And whether that's the thing that ultimately, ended him, I don't know. I can honestly say that, that's where the difference in Trump and everybody else is Trump's got to be the most mentally strong person I've ever seen. At his age, like,
yeah, but he also has something inside of him that a lot of people, they don't. Like he's always loved like a good fight to win, and he's like in the fight of his for everything. He wouldn't have ran for president if he didn't think he was going to win.
Yeah.
He's just not. He just wouldn't have done that. And it's just who he is as a person. He's done everything. Even having a television show and things like that, like he's just always been unconventional, and like he just never cared what people said. It's like, you can't do that. Just go run your business. You can't do that. You failed at this one, so you can't do this one. You can't do that. And this drive to constantly want to win, and it really feeds him. So it's like he's in a pretty big fight now, which I know it's pretty awesome to see how confident he is. It's a good sign. This stupid court thing that they have him run through, it's like ridiculous. But I think it just gets him going every morning to wake up, like, and that's awesome because ALX reposted a tweet that Donald Trump did when he was president, and it's like, this is the kind of leadership that we need. It was back when it's one of Trump's famous presidential tweets where he was like, I just heard Kim Jong-un said that he has a button next to his table, a new button. He goes, I want him to know I got a bigger button and it works. Like, that's like, what president would ever say that to a crazy world leader?
Yep.
Like over there in Korea, and it's like he did.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? He invited him out there and they sat down and they talked and whatever, the first president to step across the border of Korea over there.
Yep.
All that stuff. And like, that's the kind of leadership that we need. We don't need this crybaby. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm out of touch of the world and all this stuff. And I said that, I've said this before, and like, I can ramble on again. It is amazing to me when there are literal facts right in front of their face, and you have our president that's there now that will go in front of the world and just say, the economy is better than it's ever been. Gas prices are at their best rate ever. More people are buying homes than ever. Grocery bills are down. And you're like, where are you getting this information from? And they just lie to everyone. They just throw it out there and just say, we're just going to lie about everything and just tell everybody that it's great. Right? Mm-hmm. Even though you literally could just go to the grocery store or go wherever and know that things ain't that great. Things ain't that great for a lot of people. And this is who they are. So they don't want to lose that kind of stuff, man. Like that's why they're scared to have this guy in office. They didn't like him in office 4 years ago. They didn't want him thumbing through all these reports that he might discover something and throw it out there. Like it's sad. But being a politician is a business now. It should never have been. Politicians on both sides of the coin, Republican and Democrat, go in and they leave multi-gazillionaires, only
Shout
for like 4 to 6 years being in, whatever it is. And it's like, that can't be. They're supposed to be public servants. It's not supposed to be looked at as and this is why certain people stay in forever. Because they're making millions of dollars as a politician. It's like, I mean, all you got to do is look at the numbers. They don't lie. How come nobody ever brings that up? Ever. They never want to do. Listen, Marco Rubio, he's a guy in Florida. He's a Republican. Guy went into office. You could look it up. His value was about $300,000. He's now worth almost $4 million. I'm not saying he's doing anything wrong. Like, I'm not trying to accuse it, but there's a reason people go into politics on both sides of the coin and they come out filthy rich. It's wild to me. It's like, it's freaking wild to me. So
yeah, and little Marco is rumored to be one of Trump's top considerations.
I wasn't trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just pointing it out that it's not just Democrats either.
I don't like Marco Rubio. I don't like the whole system.
The whole system needs to be like overhauled because they are elected by the people. They're supposed to be public servants, and they're supposed to serve term limits, which I think term limits should be across the board from top to bottom, even some judges. So it's like, and yet they go in and they make it a career, not public service. They make it a career to build a business or their brand or their name or whatever it is, and they leave out, they leave their communities worse off. And they leave filthy rich. There's no difference than that in dictatorship. In this, my humble opinion, it's like that's evil, that's criminal, and they all find their way around it. Listen, you want to see Republicans and Democrats come together? Wait till that they have to vote on a pay raise. You'll never see Democrats and Republicans. You go check the votes. They all come together for that pay raise, boy. I'll tell you that. But everything else, they'll fight here and there and everything else. But when it comes time to that, hey, we're gonna give ourselves an 8% pay raise. We'll all vote yay. Like, come on, man.
Yep.
And you have someone like Trump that comes in that will, like, he'll crack that system up. he'll look at stuff and they don't like that. They don't like an insider, and they want to keep it within the family. Don't get it twisted. They want to keep it within the family, you know? So it's like they're all part of this family, these politicians. It's like, yeah, I'll talk bad about you, but we'll make millions on this war. So it's like one of those things. Sorry, it's my opinion. Not speaking for anybody else. I could be dead wrong, but all I got to do is look at the numbers, and it looks wild to me.